I feel like this is going to be difficult. I feel like this is going to be a different VP than we've seen over the past few days. This is going to be real hard for NiP, and we'll see if Device's woes and horrors continue here in Cologne with missing out in the playoffs. That'll be a disaster for him, moving over 7 inches. But we get into it, 1x bet odds, 1.41 at the top of your screen for VP. Their favorites coming into the second map. And Hamper's peeking down in towards middle, trying to get an opening pick with his USP. Hasn't been able to do it.
Not given the opportunity early. VP will slowly start to move into the apartment. Rotators coming in from NiP. Now that they've peeked all the way into Banana, they want to get back to A, and they may beat VP here onto this A site.
And Device trying to drop back out of the apartments. And look at the setup. You're 100% right about this NiP rotation. It's looking so strong right now, but VP taking their time. They could go back into B. And right now, Plopsky is in Banana alone, but here come the smokes. It's going to be the smoke execute in towards long, brackets and Moto, and focusing the fight in towards short. They've got to challenge down Device at pit. His teammate's still inside the site. Device now pressured. Molotov forcing him into the open for the fight, and Linus has got one. Just one, though. Happens to find the other, and it is NiP getting the majority of these kills. They're up a player. And for VP, that bomb is going back over to an empty B bomb site. It's a great call. And they're going to get there in time as well. The quickest rotation could be Plopsky. Buster's got to cover off this fight in CT. If he wins out the duel, that really helps matters. Sanji's cutting off the rotation back through middle, so they know it has to be only 2 players over at B right now, but they're getting the kills. Finally, the bomb goes down, but Buster finds the headshot on Rez. It's now just Linus left alone. He has got a kit in his back, but he's got to pull off the 1v2 retake.
There were no nades to CT, so Buster just had to hit those shots with the Glock. He continues his impressive performance, and even though Linus has the kit, there are no nades to help him. He just has to get the headshots.
He's got to get these headshots quickly, and the pressure of the round on this young man's shoulders. Will he crumble, or will he compete? He's going to find a headshot. Buster's gone down, and now just Sanji. Position is strong. Linus is holding for the banana. Peek to flick out the headshot, and the defuse. What a clutch from Linus.
Lovely work from Linus. You can see the support staff coming over to help him. I think that was Device who got out of his chair.
Man, yeah, it was indeed.
You gotta hype all the way across.
You gotta hype up your young players in these situations. You can see, you could tell that little smile at Linus. He was proud of himself right there. He knows what he's just done. He's getting hyped up by Device as well. NiP taking a small timeout just to calm themselves down. A huge clutch out of Linus, definitely needed.
Gotta make sure Device is back in his chair before the start of this round.
I think that's mainly why the timeout's been used. Get the headphones back in.
Threat was definitely telling them to stay focused, though, because when a pistol round comes that close with the bomb plant going against you, you've got to be ready for those AKs instantly. And we know that Threat is one of those coaches who likes to have a big say. One of the better minds for Counter-Strike. Has been a big part of why this NiP team have built the structure around them. So they will stay 100% focused, but well played from Linus there. Really nice to see him coming through in the pistol, especially after Buster looked like he'd won the round for VP. NiP come back with a big play of their own, and we didn't see enough of those individual moments on the first map. Let's hope that's a sign of things to come.
I felt like VP were winning every single one of those. And NiP, we did see the opportunities there. We've seen Device nearly pulling off a ridiculous 4K. Hampers nearly winning out of clutch. They just never got that final kill. They can make the difference and win these clutches. That's certainly going to help matters for NiP. Look how much damage has been done to VP with this utility. Jim had the AK, and he's been chunked down to 32. Luckily, Buster's found the AK that was down, now in his hands. And he's now down by utility as well. He's 25 HP. It's hitting the best start for VP, and a lot of near damage for NiP. They'll not be complaining about that.
This is another one of those maps for NiP where Plopsky and Linus are playing that B site together right now. In the previous round, Plopsky was left as the solo B defender. This time it was Linus initially who was left alone on the B site, but as soon as he spotted players on Banana, he called for the rotate, and for good reason, because VP are starting to close the distance and even setting up some nades into this B bomb site.
Smoke down into CT. Linus changing up his position to help at Coffins, but already a smoke has gone in there for VP. Plopsky's position is often so strong to be able to work something out of this, though. Victor's got to check it, and he will do that. Headshot immediately onto Plopsky, and now the play into the site begins to come through. Kicker, he's going to jump right through it, right into Linus, though. And that FAMAS has come out with a kill. Virtus.pro with a bomb plant, but now the difficult part of the round begins. It's holding on to it, stopping NiP getting back into the site, and Sanji's going aggressive into the waiting arms of Device and Linus, and they found the headshot. It's Sanji down, and that's the AK out of play. Busted Khalil gets one, and Jim unable to get much done with the MAC-10. It's 2 kills from VP, it's a bomb plant, but it's NiP with the round win.
It was a decent take from VP. They had a smoke into Coffin, a smoke into CT, a couple of mollies to the close positions. So first oranges and second oranges, I believe, were the positions mollied that they didn't have to worry about. That's part of the reason why Kicker flies in looking at the boost position, because they've used those nades to the site. But then going through the smoke was maybe a bit too aggressive from Kicker in that position. I like that Kicker feels freer to make plays, but in that round, going through the smoke is a bit of a bigger risk to take when Linus was just sitting on the other side. Obviously, he didn't know Linus was there, but you've got to be aware it's likely that second B player will be somewhere close by. So, strong start for NiP. You can see some smiles on their faces early here on Inferno. VP have been pushed back to a position where they decide not to fall by. Sanji has spent all his money, though, dropping that AK over to James. Let's see what he can do with it.
James, often the player that gets the hero weapons. It goes down into Banana. Just gonna hold Kicker back for the meantime.
I'm pretty sure a chicken just walked into the molly and died, which is sad. You would think they wouldn't do that.
I've seen them do that a lot, actually.
What, in real life?
Well, not in real life, no.
That's what I mean. Valve, please fix. Why are these chickens trying to die?
Oh, barbecue chicken. It's my favorite. I love barbecue chicken.
There you go. Dinko's food
Maybe not
choices.
petroleum barbecue chicken, though, because that probably is pretty toxic, to be honest.
That's true. Kicker leading the charge up Banana. Oftentimes it's Buster who will do this, but Kicker was feeling confident, and because James is so low, Kicker will get the AK in his hands, and he's made a couple of plays so far throughout this series, so I'm definitely not opposed to seeing what Kicker can do, and this is the NiP style I was talking about. Very passive on the CT side, very willing to just sit back and set up those crossfires, and this is a round where VP don't have a massive amount of nades to stop that from working.
Yeah, and I think that counters VP very well, and Kicker has to try and break down the defense. He's got to take them apart piece by piece.
Oh.
He's now going through CT, and Plopsky's dropped back down here. His team is still inside of the site right now for NiP.
But they can't work together on B now.
Yeah, that does separate it into the fight, but Plopsky comes back to Coffins, and that smoke will keep him safe from at least the Banana fight, but it does isolate Linus, who's now severed off from his teammate. Flash is starting to go through. They're going to hard check him, but he's done well. 9 seconds, bomb down as well, and he's found them all. Linus with a hold. Beautiful stop from the young addition, and he just takes everybody down. 4 kills, and NiP given a third.
I was half expecting Device to get out of his chair again there, because that may have been a better play than the pistol round. Really composed stuff at the back of the B site. We were saying that it is Plopsky and Linus playing these sites together. One of them has to step up. I was expecting Plopsky to be that man to be the big hitter, but Linus showing he can hold his own.
9-0.
Yeah, really nice hold from him. VP used their nades. They used a flash even onto his position, but it was so late in the round that they couldn't all just push into the back lines. They had to try and get that bomb planted, and that's a big reason why Linus is able to get all those kills. Really well played by him, though.
Virtus.pro have finally got the rifles out. Sanji, well, everybody's got rifles apart from him. He's down to a Galil. He's got his backpack full of nades, though. He's used a piece up already. Molotov into top Banana and Kicker. Start to walk up through. A flash set the ready. Buster's going to try and set it, Kicker up for some of these openings. And with how Kicker's been playing individually over the past 2 days, you really can get a lot out of him. So I like that they're trying to set him up for some of these picks, allowing Kicker the control to take top Banana. Just going to slow it down, though, and drop back. VP going to be going over towards A. And right now, NiP, they've still got 3 players here.
This is where NiP will sit back and will use their utility to slow VP down. Device has gone all the way back to Library, but some smoke should be about to come into his position. The Library smoke isn't landing. It's the deepest smoke into long, but Device does have to reposition. That means it's up to the 2 riflers on the site.
One Rez looks to hold it, but Hampus is in with one, Rez with the other, and it's absolutely shut down here. Rez with another headshot. Jim is now alone. He'll do his best. He's finally onto the board, but again, he's damaged, and Device is ready for the fallback. Another great haul from NiP, and this is the play style that I think makes it quite difficult for VP style of play, right? If you're going up against the CT side, the trap is laid for you. Utility is still there. You're going to get shut down by these setups if you cannot get these headshots quickly, and NiP have got the individuals to hold on.
And this is why I thought this would be a good matchup for NiP. Even though they have been losing it lately in their online games, it's VP's playstyle here on Inferno. If NiP do just sit back, hold their nades, have solid crossfires, even if VP use the nades of their own on the take, NiP should know how to dodge some of those. They should have the ability to use some counter utility. It's been working wonders so far for the NiP side, but VP will start to try and come up with solutions. It's still early in the half, and you can believe at some point someone like Yakindar or Buster or Kicker will start to get a bit more aggressive. So NiP have got to stay on their toes.
I'm liking the economic decision for Virtus.pro in this round. You know, sometimes you see them go too often into those hero AKs, putting everything into a couple of players, but I like that they're saving money for this next gun round. You want to get the rifles out as quickly as possible. You don't want to be down and out trying to battle the economy against NiP, who have already got themselves into a decent enough spot. I think they would probably want a little bit of extra cash in the bank account, so winning this round convincingly would certainly help matters. Plopsky and Linus, they're going to try and test them on B again. This time Plopsky playing from coffins. Linus still yet to die. Hopefully a little bit of Caster's Curse won't come through. The attack is about to come in, the B site under pressure. Linus has gone down, and now Plopsky looking to hold through the smoke. He's unable to get out with a kill, so right now Virtus.pro, they hold that advantage. They've taken the site, they've got an AK now to play with. This is a disaster right now for NiP.
And it's slightly more explosive from VP. Instead of setting up a bunch of nades earlier in the round, they really just use those flashes, the smoke to CT, they just go. And now NiP are hanging around, but this is a hard retake.
Yeah, it's really hard, especially with some utility that VP still have left. Molotov just deployed towards coffins. Kicker's still here as well with the AK. There's a smoke down, flash goes through, but Kicker's got the kill. And through the smoke, he's trying for more. He's doing damage, but no kill. And NiP cannot win this round. They're hanging around to do damage onto the economy of VP. They're just trying to get a few kills, but on the way out, it's Sanji hunting down the open. Device gets out alive. He gets away from the site, but Yakindar is still on their heels. He's running through with a Tech 9. Device might go down. Oh no, Yakindar, how has he missed those? Device just moves, and Yakindar's inaccuracy helps out, but it is this take in towards this B side that just catches off Linus off guard. He had utility in his hand. Plopsky had dropped down in behind Coffin, so he didn't actually help out his teammate. And I think the utility is really making it difficult for them to play together.
And that's what VP can do to you. A bunch of slow rounds early, and then suddenly a flash play, an explosive push that Linus isn't ready for. He's unable to put his nades down in time. I think Device actually had taken his hands off his mouse and his keyboard for a second, and then realized, oh wait, Yakindar's here, I've got to quickly move. And then somehow dodged away from the bullets quickly enough. But we're back to the gun round. And VP are grouping up early. We might see another faster play, and this is what worked for them in the previous round.
Hampus is waiting. M4, does he got caught with utility though? That's the question. He throws down the smoke, and Yakindar immediately just snaps him up. Yakindar likes Hampus for breakfast.
Very tasty. And that's the round. It's a tasty round for VP because one kill is all they need. It was a pretty strong spot from Hampus initially, too. If VP were to flash on the other side, he wouldn't have been blinded from it, so there would have been a chance for him to line up multiple kills. But unfortunately, while he puts the smoke down, he's in a position where he just has to hit the instant headshot. Yakindar instead comes out with the headshot of his own. And I'm so glad we're seeing VP adapt so quickly here. Sometimes you'll see them adapt like this just way too late in the game. This time they're 4-0 down. They realized in that previous round they could take that risk with the Tech 9s, with the weaker weapons. And now they realize, well, why not try one of those plays in the gun rounds too? It worked with the pistols. Let's see if the explosive play can work with the rifle. And it worked wonders.
So VP up to 2 now. But for NiP, they did save the majority of the weapons. It is only Hampus that goes down, so they will still be able to get a fully fledged buy into this one. And it doesn't get any easier for VP. So timeout for NiP. Letting Rez, or should I say Threat, have his say.
Rez might be having a say too.
Yeah, who knows?
You never know.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe Threat will let him talk. But I think this is Threat's 30 seconds to shine, you know? He doesn't really get to talk that much, so I think he's going to eat up every bit of this.
You'd hope so. And it is hard here to know exactly what to say as a coach, because you kind of feel like the last 2 rounds have been down to your players getting caught with nades in their hands, getting caught with some timings. Maybe you could ask them to play a bit further back even, but NiP are already playing a pretty safe game, so maybe Threat is just making sure they realize we have to be ready for these faster plays now. We have to be ready for VP to throw these fast plays in there. Or maybe he just feels like he has a good read on what VP are doing, because I'm sure he's the man who's been watching most of the demos, doing most of the prep work. So we will find out if NiP have found the counter to these fast plays here.
Well, Kicker gets aggressive in towards top banana. It's Plopsky that's been found, and Kicker, I don't know how, but he's still alive. He's down to 1 HP. He's going to get away. Really good start to the round that for Virtus.pro. They're getting away with daylight robbery. And now they can just slow this round down. Now it's on NiP to figure out, do we want to go for the aggressive play? Do we want to try and pull this kill back? Or do we just sit back, save our nades, and hope for the late round execute? And right now on this B bomb site, it's only 1 player. They've decided to leave Linus there alone. And VP haven't committed anywhere, but this could be the kill. Device just holds in towards apartments, and Sanji walks into the AWP, but that's going to be enough information for VP to feel comfortable about walking up towards B. Linus throws the smoke down to buy some extra time, but no rotation is coming through yet. Finally, with this utility coming in from VP, that should call Device away to try and help out with the youngster, but Linus has been so good so far. But this time, he's been bombarded with utility, and he can't really have a say in the initial hold.
He may be able to molly the bomb planter, but he's actually going to hold that molly for the retake. It's Device who was looking for something through the smoke, but he won't be able to find it. The upside for NiP here is they still have a lot of utility, so they can molly out some of these site positions. They can smoke off banana. That's exactly what they're going to need to make this retake work, because a 4v4 retake is never easy.
The smokes go into banana to try and sever off some of these positions, but Buster at Coffin, he will go down very quickly to Rez. And Jim is burning at the back of the site and into the fight against Hampus. He will lose it. Yakindar on the double kill. Kicker's found one as well. A Device now left alone, but Yakindar is not having any of it. 3 kills for him, and Virtus.pro with a 3rd.
And that's why it's so hard to retake that B bomb site. Even when you've mollied out some of those backside positions, this is still a very strong angle for Yakindar to take with the AK. They can line up at headshot height for him. It's hard for the M4s to peer over the top and get those quick kills. It's much easier for the AK to just hold the angle, hit the headshots. And still credit to Yakindar, because that second frag especially was not easy on the spray, but he delivered for his team. Now VP are really getting rolling here on their map pick. 3 rounds won, NiP back down to pistols. I didn't mind the risk that NiP took in that round either, especially when Device fires that AWP off on A. There is a decent chance that VP think to themselves, maybe they're leaving Device on A with that AWP because this A site is slightly weaker. But VP never fell for that. It was a really nice read to go into the B bomb site after a lot of presence was put there early by the NiP players. Unfortunately for them, now they're down on pistols, and should be VP tying up the scoreline.
They're getting into it now, Virtus.pro.
And this is the VP we wanted to see here at Cologne. We wanted to see Yakindar. He said he could be even better on that.
Yeah, I mean, it's great to have that confidence. And I was starting to worry because, you know, online, VP were starting to really drop off. But now, they're starting to light up in Cologne. They don't want to end their run here. NiP, they've got a stack inside of the site right now with 3 players. And Plopsky and Hampus delivering kills with a pistol. Still one in that. Plopsky trying to reload the CZ, and unfortunately that takes about 50 light years, so no reload for him. Rez and Linus trying their best now on the extremities. They're going to need just a lucky headshot. They need some kill just to open this up, and with that smoke down to Moto again, it is Rez who I feel needs to kill. Lopes down in front of him, but they're looking at short. They know that. I don't know if the spawn of the AWP get picked up there, but it doesn't matter now. They know he's right in front of them, but the deagle switched out. Rez has got a kill. Oh, Rez, he nearly gets the follow-up, but Yakindar's going to go down, and now it's just Kicker. This time is ticking and no kit for Linus. So the round will be won by Kicker. It's over the top. He might still go down. Kicker, it's not ready for Linus. Hanging around. Oh, God. Linus misses the shot, but they all both died of the bomb.
Well, at least Linus is happy to smile about it. He knows that just getting rid of Kicker was his main aim there, by whatever means necessary.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he definitely had a big part of that.
Kicker seemed to be trying to get the AWP when there really wasn't time to do that, because he was just going to die to the bomb, which is slightly confusing. But we will move on. Good damage done onto the VP economy. They still have some money in the bank, but NiP have a better chance now to try and break that T-side bank. It's been Kicker who's been the main man leading the way up Banana in a bunch of these rounds. I think a few months ago when I was watching VP, it was generally Buster who'd be going in first, and this is one of those rounds where Buster will now go back to the early entry.
And he has been busting open rounds quite a bit, Hawker.
Ooh, do they want the gap in the smoke on purpose? Some teams are now throwing that smoke with a gap in it to try and utilize that. I'm not sure that's what NiP were doing here, though.
And yeah, there is purposely missed utility. We see it on Dust 2 as well. The CT smoke, you can peer on the gap because you know that's likely where CTs will be holding from. But let's see how the play plays out for Yekindar. He's looking to try and strike into the defense. There's a smoke down to Critic Corridor, but Linus right through the smoke goes down to Buster. He really tries to make that smoke wall work, but right through it, the bullets will fly. And that is, again, NiP down a player for the B retake. They don't really have the funds to keep going for these retake attempts, and they're going to have to back away.
And this B site is starting to become a problem position now. NiP could do with having a round where they maybe have 3B while the push is coming in, or potentially get some aggression going on A to get that information. Because Linus had a really good start to the game. He got up to 9 kills very early on, and now he's slowed down significantly.
Yeah.
VP have just been running over this B site. And on the whole, VP are a team who generally do like to go to that B site more.
And Plovsky, I mean, he hasn't really been able to deliver that impact either. Generally, where the smoke execute is enough because they're taking these setups that aren't involving 2 players inside of the site. We do see a lot of teams in the CT side who like to double stack into towards new box and have the double orange setup. But for NiP, they're playing the standard coffin and one inside of the site setup. And if you're going to do that, you need a lot out of the player who is in front of those smokes. And like you're saying, Linus has gone down so often that they're not getting enough on those initial holes. You want your site player to at least get one there, but he's not getting enough done.
This is a lot of timeouts early from NiP. I hope their T side's good, because they've only got 1 timeout left. Threat really wants to have a word with them right now, and maybe he's echoing some of our sentiments that something's got to change on that B bomb site. I'm not even sure if this is a specific counter strat here from VP, or if they're just playing their regular game. Because in the games I've seen, they do like to go to that B site and Inferno more frequently. But it kind of mirrors what we were seeing on Ancient, where they were going to the same bomb site that Plopsky and Linus were playing. They were getting a lot of success there. Now they're doing the same thing on Inferno. However, here is that switch up, and it's Rez who comes over early to help out with some nades. That means those B players still have a lot of utility to use. Sanji nearly getting a fight there. Hampers is going in and out. He's shaking it all about. I think Sanji's seen him, though.
Well, Sanji, he's ready to do the hokey pokey. Hampers has left him and gone back down under porch. Some utility now being used up for Sanji to make sure the boiler is clear. Device.
Ooh.
Oh, I thought he was going to take the shot there. He did. 100% a kill. But Device will hold in the apartments, not wanted to give away the position of the AWP up until this point. And Sanji, okay. Nice headshot, taking Device down. And now Hampus looks to avenge his fallen teammate, but Sanji finally is going to be picked up. 4v4, under a minute left, and VP once again, they're going to challenge the B site.
Nice info play from Hampus. I think that was needed to get them back into the round, but the B plays at the ready.
I like this from Plopsky. He needs to take a risk. He gets 1 kill out of it. Buster trades it quickly, though. And now they're going to go onto the site. Linus trying to throw the utility. The Molotov's not going to deny the plan, but it is going to limit their positions. Force them to take some extra time to wrap around and try and get into the new box, and Jim is going to get back here with the AWP.
Kindar's lurking.
Buster's on the coffins as well. It's a good setup right now for Virtus.pro, just staying alive, delaying long enough for Yekindar to get in behind, shoot crush this round for NiP, and there he goes. Yekindar in behind, gets the lineup. Just one for him because Jim had peeked out as well, and now it's Linus left alone. He's got a lot of work to do on his own here. I just don't think he's going to be finding that opportunity to even get out of this one alive, unless he just tucks in the corner. Utility's coming in, they're trying to force him into a comfortable spot, and he goes into the peak. Yekindar does well, but because of the damage done, it will be Linus down. 6-4 for Virtus.pro, and you know, initially even those fights, just 1-for-1 in the apartments, this B hit towards the end is just so good from them.
It's been a problem, and you can see that NiP are aware that they need to use some counter utility to stop these plays from happening, but the way they're doing it is just slightly too slow in some of these rounds. And the other issue is, again, it's that same scenario where Plopsky's the only player actually fighting for the site. Linus is not really on the same page. He's sitting behind the CT smoke. I don't think Linus was even using too much utility to help. He was holding his molly to try and deny the bomb plant, but that came in a little too late. And I like that Device is taking some initiative here. He's saying, you know what? I'm going to take this AWP over to B. This has been the problem position. He needs to be the star. He needs to step up with the AWP, but he's been blinded and his teammate's been taken out of the round.
Oh, and Device is about to peek on down, but Buster with the follow-up. Virtus.pro have been given the 2 early kills, and now we need to see much more out of Plopsky. We've got to see everything out of Plopsky now at the back of the site. They're going to pressure him. They're completely aware he could be at the back of the site, but Plopsky's done well. He's found one. And now throws a smoke down to give himself cover, but Yekindar starts spamming it, and the kill of the Plopsky comes through. Virtus.pro a 2-man advantage. They haven't yet planted the bomb, but it's just a matter of time before that happens, and Yekindar's even holding for the draw back. The timing allows Rez to safety. Sanji's the player on A to make sure that no weapons get saved over for NiP. It's 7 rounds now for Virtus.pro. They keep on ticking.
I'd like to see NiP challenge Banana a bit more in these rounds now. Sitting back on the site has not worked, even when they've had the stacks here. Rez is out of the round, Hampus is stuck in pit. They've got so much money that they're comfortable hunting him down. And now they know exactly where he is. Jane peeking. Nice kill from Hampus. He can adjust onto the second. Taking that AWP out would be nice, but now he ducks into the smoke. And Yekindar will flush him out at the end. 7-4 lead. And I believe 7 rounds in a row for VP, if I'm not mistaken. Certainly a big win streak for them at this point. NiP got off to that strong start. They won that pistol round, but the gun rounds have been one-way traffic right here. At least that time, NiP seemed to have more of an idea of how they wanted to play. They were much more committed to fighting for the site. But how many rounds can end on this B site before NiP are able to stop it? They just haven't been able to shut it down right now. Only pistols in this one. They are trying to fight for Banana. They are trying to switch it up. But VP are taking their sweet, sweet time.
Oh, kicker at the half wall. Flash is about to come around from Buster. He's going to set up kicker for some of these early fights. Flash is going to go in actually a little deeper, and they're not even going to challenge around the corner. Instead, they're going to bring everybody back. And oh, Hampus, he's found Sanji. That's an AK now for NiP to play with, and some utility to try and slow down this play as well. A minute left, and utility goes back and forth, but kicker has gone B finally, and this time on Plopsky's got his kill. Oh, once again, VP, they look like they were going to go somewhere else, but they finish on the B site. Linus is over here with a deagle, but he's alone up until Rez has arrived. The smoke's down. It's going to sever off the attack and the defense here for the retake, and the bomb is going down. Buster looking to secure it, and Linus has not been able to pick anything up. James towards new box is holding with the AWP. It's just such a strong post plant right now. Virtus.pro have absolutely no way they lose this round truly at this point. NiP are hanging around, trying to get forward, but no kills are going their way.
There's no way in at this point. Oh, and Kickert even gets one through the smoke. Kickert himself has been having a really strong showing here on Inferno. Another kill coming in from Kickert. I'm loving seeing Kickert, again, taking initiative, but also taking so many entries for the team. James only on 1 health from that shot from Linus. Can he get away? Yes, he can. Linus goes up with the bomb. Hampus saves the AK. And one of the questions that is posing itself in my mind now is how much of NiP's adaptation when they've been playing online has been coming down to threat. Hampus is quite an inexperienced in-game leader, relatively inexperienced compared to some of the other players on this team. Right now, we're not seeing the adaptation. We're not seeing this switch up when they are struggling here on their CT side. Let's see if they can finally find the way in now. Device has been quiet so far. Hasn't been able to get involved, but he's gone over to the B-bomb site. And if there is a dry peek here, he's got a very good chance for an early kill. Molly round the corner, though, forces him back. And now Plopsky's isolated in the sandbags.
Oh, they're going to check him, and Plopsky cannot come out on top. It's Buster once again who bests him. The 5v4 is Virtus.pro with the advantage, and now they're going to back away. Now they start their attention towards this A-bomb site. Rez is over here with his weapon at the ready. It's a big green zoom banger. They can get some banging kills with it. That would definitely help NiP get into a much better position.
Such a tight angle he was holding.
Yeah.
I could never hit those shots.
Yeah, well, that's why you're on the microphone, Hawker.
I am. Rez is in the sub.
You're a sick shuffleboard player, though.
I learned that today, or the other day.
Yeah.
That's my true calling.
Not quite table tennis, but Rez is going to get aggressive, and now looking for the pick. Buster has gone down. 4v4. Hampus looking for the spray down, but he's only managed one headshot from his position, and Jim has doubled up. A flurry of kills, and another one this time for Sanji. It's just Device, and again, his whole team has gone down. This time on the A side, and Device is over on B to try and help out matters, but he's got to try and figure out, is there even a chance for him? And the timing doesn't work out. Kicker gets the better peak. And it's 9-4 for Virtus.pro. NiP, if they don't turn this around, are going home.
One of the first rounds where VP actually end up on the A side of the map. Came from the early B play, and that second kill from Jane was sublime. Just turning and taking that angle through the smoke into the library position. Final timeout taken by NiP, and we are still in the first half. Threat has realized they just have to get 1 or 2 more CT rounds here. Even if Inferno is a map where you can have strong T sides, it needs to be more than 4. Nice round from VP, though, realizing maybe that the switch up would finally come in. Device did try and go over to B with that AWP. It's been a tough game for Device because he's not been that involved so far. Whenever he's switched it up to B, he's either not been able to be successful or they've gone back to A in this round. So it has been tough for Device's AWP to be able to have much impact. He hasn't seen many fights so far. Hampus trying down mid, but falls back early.
Yeah.
NiP investing a decent amount into this one.
Hampus wasn't too far off that. It would have likely just been damage. The scout in hand. Virtus.pro, they're taking control of apartments so early into this round. They've got Banana as well. These are the 2 parts of the map you want to control as the T, and they've got them within the first few seconds. Rez with his AWP needs to strike, and he's done that very well. Buster, this time, goes down early in Banana. Often the man that's been finding these B openings. Sanji might make the difference, though. Hampus has got a tight angle. Knows there's a player close. He's going to go into the peak, and because of the utility used by Sanji, that's going to allow Hampus to peek out for the headshot. James being tagged as well. Now Kicker looking to pull them out of the hole. He's done well to take Rez down, but he needs more. The AWP has been recovered. Plopsy's gone to the back of the site, and the smoke's gone down as well, but it's Yukindo's entry on the A site. With the bomb now open, the site can be taken and the bomb can go down.
Linus is the first responder, but Smoke is about to cut him off. He may get a chance onto Kicker, but Kicker is going back towards the apartments. Bomb is taking a long time to be planted here. Finally, Jane will get that down on the site. No kit for NiP either, which makes this retake all the more difficult.
Yukindo is just going to sit in pit. Device trying to get closer with his AWP, and Jim will take one. Plopsky's been pulled out, and Jim is under so much pressure. He needed to go for the no-scope, but it didn't land. Linus takes his headshot. Tackle on the bomb as well to try and pull them into fights. Yukindo, he's going to go for it. Device to the smoke. Has taken down Kicker. They're not on the defuse. Yukindo also has a Molotov, but I believe there's a smoke for the bomb right now, and he's going to swing into the open. Device has got the kill. You cannot make that easy for him because he didn't even have a gun in his hand. NiP gonna stick the defuse. Device holding it. Is there time? Oh my god, it's close, but he's got it.
Oh, I wasn't sure they had it there without the kit. I thought Yekindar may have just about done enough, but Device manages to make it work, and NiP finally put a stop to that win streak. That was 9 rounds in a row. VP were landing some incredible shots. Kickert especially having a great game, and I mean, that's how they win their first round, to break the streak.
It's down to a millisecond, literally at that point. Oh, VP. 9-5 up. They're looking to respond, and oh, that's a great response. Great start the round for Jame. Device trying to make the difference, trying to get involved on Inferno. He's so quiet. It'd be great if you could have a player like Device show up in the CT side, and Jame is continuing to get kills. The T side all, but Inferno often criticized for its lack of impact, but Jame is making it work. Oh.
Nice play from Plopsky, close in the smoke, but can he get back? Looks like the molly will allow him to do that, but it's the A site where we have to look towards. Only Linus there on the hold, and VP look like they're about to push it. Plopsky pushing Banana, and now the A play comes in.
Yeah, Plopsky feels like that play was needed, but the rest of the kills start to come through now. It's just Device.
He's just never been in the right position.
Never,
the
never.
whole half.
Every single time he's walking back down in the wrong spot, unable to deliver impact, and Virtus.pro will lead the way 10-5. NiP are going home if this continues. We'll be back for the second half.
Right in, and NiP have to make up for lost time here because they are down right now. 10-5 in favor of VP. And if NiP lose this map, they are out of Cologne, and Device's Cologne streak would continue. Only Buster holding this B site, though. NiP have found the right bomb site to hit.
Buster holds. Spotted one and just dropped into CT immediately. Utility now for NiP starting to come through. Let's look up for the CT cross, and they will take the site easily. Buster trying to do some damage, but it's going to be the retake here for VP.
They have some nades to do it. Sanji has a molly, which could come into play, and if Plopskys get caught on Banana, that could be a problem.
The Device is going to throw a smoke down. Plopsky can hide in behind it, could flash through. It's going to blind everybody involved in while Device has got a good position. The distraction's up, and Plopsky's hit the first. Plopsky with another one. Plopsky and Device taking down everything in Banana. And Jame is now left alone, running away down towards the bottom. Buster's still up CT. He started in this position, and he still remains there, unable to find impact in the pistol. And for this time being, it's going to be NiP with a pistol round win. Jame is doing his best. Buster's found a headshot, but just not enough time to really get involved in terms of affecting the outcome of the result. Campus chasing after Jame. Good headshot there towards the end, and Buster gets away alive. He was the initial B holder and ends up being the only player staying alive. That's how it can be sometimes.
Such a good flashbang here, but Kicker in first. Needed to get that kill onto Sandbags early. Needed to be able to swing out and just take that first man out. Otherwise, that crossfire was always going to be a problem. Would have relied on them landing some brilliant shots to overcome it, and they couldn't do it this time. So NiP win the all-important pistol. They won the pistol in their first half, though, and it was the gun rounds that were a concern for them. Hopefully, for NiP's sake, they can change that here in this half. Right, now they are up against the force bite. Ampus will take Banana control without too much cause for concern.
Seems to be an issue. A lot of typing. Damage has not been inflicted in the round at all, so we should be seeing a reset of this round. And everybody going back. It's a false start, Hawker. And that is a little worrying. We'll see if the issue gets resolved quite quickly. Headsets are off for the Ninjas, or at least a few of them. Hopefully we can get the issue resolved as quickly as possible. For NiP, you know, taking a look at this Inferno performance, the first half, we talked about Device and his lack of impact, but it really did feel like the reason he was having this lack of impact was because he was always in these awful positions. Anytime he was B, they went A. Anytime he was A, they went B. You know? He was just always in these scenarios that would have these impossible 1v5s to try and pull off every single round. So I'd hope that he can control where he goes in this T side. Issue is, you know, we often talk about the T side all, but it can be difficult sometimes to get that involved. So Device got to do it on the rifle. We know he's capable of doing that. And just for your information at home, we do have a PC crash at the moment. So hopefully that'll get resolved quite quickly. We've got IEM out in Cologne. They'll get that fixed, no problem.
Players taking this as a chance for a beverage break. Whichever beverage they're preferring.
Yeah, plenty of options out there. Seen Twitch chat having a bit of fun with some of the water bottles. We've seen some of the players drinking. Got some fancy water bottles.
Yeah.
Jam had a big swig last night, trying to focus up in the game. But we are in the situation where we did talk about the big performance of Linus, who's currently 12-7, but he did get those 9 kills in a row, right? 9-0, and then suddenly really became quiet. Plotski didn't really do a whole lot in that initial defense, so they have a chance here on this T side to try and get into things, and the individuals can start to wake up for NiP. They might just be back into things, but here we go. We're getting right back into the action. Second half will continue. Virtus.pro up 10-6, but with NiP with a good start on the pistol, they've got a far better buy here with the MAC-10s out in force. 4 of them trying to get some damage done.
First aim has to be beating this force spike.
Device cam.
God damn. Look at Device's forehead. It's looking
Yeah,
good.
the best play of the game so far is how Device does his hair. I have no idea how he does it. Initially, it did look like they were going for some of the B site, but now they dropped back here on NiP. Apologies for losing the feed for a moment, but everything is all good now.
Ooh, look at this setup. 3 CT stacked into top mid.
Yeah,
And
Jim.
NiP got to use their nades to make sure they don't run into this crossfire.
Yeah, Jim holding on, checking crosses over, but now the T's will start to come as well. And Hampus will find one, Rez with the other, and this is much more like it from NiP. They shut down the pistols, and yeah, he's up for grabs. Bomb plant will come through, and this secures some extra money. And that'll be theirs to play with.
Slightly surprised that VP didn't get anything out of that. Pretty good for them initially, having all those players stacked on separate angles at top mid. The Kindar not ready for Device, who has been missing out on the action so far, so wants to make up for that by getting some MAC-10 kills here in this one. I'm liking this from Device. Get some fights, get some kills with the MAC-10. Get yourself in a position where you can start to get some more frags on this T side, and Device even hits the jumping headshot with the MAC-10 at the end there. Lovely stuff.
Important start here for NiP. And for Virtus.pro, obviously they went for the force buy in the previous rounds. They don't really have money coming into this one. And so NiP, in terms of their buy, they can keep those MAC-10s. They can get some extra money out in these first couple of rounds. They can get right back into things. This is going to be an 8th round. If they win the gun round, well, they've got a chance to tie up the scoreline, Hawker.
Now, that's the other upside of Device, playing so aggressively with that Mac. He made a lot of money last round. He's got the chance to do the same again. Oh, nice double kill from Device. Rez will get 2 of his own with some assistance from Device.
Always fun.
Is sitting there, seeing if he can get an extra kill on the board.
Just hanging around a boiler. It's going into the stairway. James just trying to get something here, trying to bring down the net player. And he is going to be found by Plopski. Very well done that for him. 10 to 8 on the board now. NiP will get their buyout. I wonder how many MAC-10s they do keep, because they did have a lot of them. They got a lot of money as well here. Virtus.pro, they're going to have their buyout. For NiP, I wouldn't really be against just upgrading those guns at this point, because it is such an important gun round. If you win this, you tie it up, but again, they're looking to save that money.
They're so rich. Keeping this bonus round will mean they still have buys for a couple, so I don't mind the decision from NiP. You can always get some good work done with those SMGs. Your Kindar run boosted early. We know your Kindar loves to push banana on Inferno. He loves to go aggressive down there when he has the chance. This might not be one of those rounds, though, because NiP's nades look solid early.
Yeah. Great stuff from there, just forcing back the attacks. And his Device that's leading the charge in the gun rounds with the AK. Appear around the half wall. is where you can get that impact out of Device, when he's been able to choose where the action is. Dictating the pace, dictating where he wants to play. And Virtus.pro are going to bring this AWP over. It's going to be Jame coming to help out the defense. They think it's going to be the B play, and right now that is the right call. Jame is in a good position here. Do they go around the corner dry, or do they have a flash at the ready? They've got to get Jame off this angle somehow, whether it be baiting the shot out, using the utility. They can't give him the fight. CT smoke going down, they're trying to shoulder bait it out, and the kill still comes in. Jim with the AWP has picked it up. And VP have 2 more riflers inside of the side as well. Buster's done well. Yukindar only getting 1 because the Mac 10 of Rez is quick. He's low on HP, and finally that Itchy will find him. It's just Device left in the 1v4. Molotov goes down in behind the smoke at Runes, and he has to recover that bomb, which is still not in his hands. It's on the ledge behind him. He would have to jump on the barrel to be able to pick it up, and Device is now looking for the fight, and Buster will win it. Kill comes through. It's a 3K for Buster on that hold, and that's what it can get you when you make that early rotation.
He did big damage there initially from that Coffin's position. For NiP, they had the flash coming around the corner, but Plopsky starts to jiggle peek, hoping he could bait out that CT AWPer's shot. If he could have baited out that shot, it would have given him the ability to fly into the bomb site sooner, which is part of why he's doing that, but ends up going out slightly too wide. Jame can hit the shot just before the flash blinds him, and then even though he gets smoked off, his riflers now have the awareness that they need to step up on the hold, and they definitely delivered. The damage done early onto Plopsky, and Sanji steps into the flames briefly. Lots of nades going back and forth on Banana. Kindar wants to add another to the tally.
Smoke's going to hold NiP back. They don't have top Banana control. They don't want to go around that corner and force the fight under Yukindar, and he's going to get that info quite shortly. They're going to drop back now. VP feel like they can rotate an extra play over to the A site. Just over a minute left as NiP start their attack up here. They're leaving 1 in Banana. It is Device. He's going to throw some utility just to try and keep the players there. Maybe try and pull a rotation back off this A site. But NiP are definitely going towards A. Smokes are coming in now as well. Archway smoke up. Deep smoke in towards Library. Play begins to come through short, and Sanji and Kicker, they've got to be able to deliver something here from the rifle. Smoke goes down, Yukindar's in the side as well. This is going to be difficult for NiP to get into the site, and Sanji's going to be hard cleared. Rez is coming in with a kill, Yukindar down below, and Plopsky found him as well. What a take from NiP. It was a stack from VP, but it gets crushed, and every headshot comes in for the Ninjas.
So quick from NiP getting onto the site there. Kicker's smoke lineup didn't seem to be successful. The molly still spreads into Pit. He can't help his teammates, which is exactly what he wanted to do with that smoke being up. And that makes a big difference, because if Kicker can peek from Pit there, he has the chance to just slow down those short players, maybe get a kill as they're running onto the site. It's really hard to run onto the site and be aware of the Pit angle. Buster's even going to be run down at the end, so VP's money is in trouble. Yeah, it's really hard to push the site when you also are scared of that Pit angle, because as soon as you round the corner to the site, a lot of players from Pit will hold that exact angle where they're watching the cross to the site. So you either have to commit to the Pit or the site player, and then you can be traded on. But because Kickut's smoke wasn't successful, Sanji just gets overrun on the site. Yukindar was so blind that he wasn't able to react quickly enough. Really nice fast play from NiP. Unfortunate for VP that Kickut's smoke was unsuccessful, but now they've got to go down to a weaker buy, and Kicker wants to get going with this AWP.
Or Kicker was looking for that pick in towards second middle, but it's very difficult to stick around there. You either get that kill or you don't right away. You can't stick around and commit to the angle because you're likely to die from mid. So you don't want to stick around, and NiP now take top Banana control. Look at this rotation again. Like, it's 4-man stack for VP on this side of the map again, and they made the mistake of not getting Jam off this angle before. Can he get another kill? Can he take the first? Because if he does, the rest of the side are going to have a much easier time with some of these weaker Deagles. They've got the super stack right now on the B-bomb side. Jim, given the chance, no kill, and now goes again. Flashes are so good, he's unable to get a single kill, but remember, 3 pistols still inside of the site. Sanji, while blinded, still with a kill, and Device has to take him out. Rez to the smoke has found Jim, that's the AWP down, but Buster spotted by Device. Great composure inside of the smoke, but Yukindar, Yukindar, sneaky beaky like from the back of the site. He's taking down the bomb plant, but there's still 45 seconds left. Yukindar hasn't got a better rifle. He's still in this Deagle. And for NiP, it's all about taking a deep breath, realizing we're still in control of this round. Yes, the bomb isn't in our hands, but we got the better weapons. Unfortunately, we don't have the Molotov to clear him out, but that smoke only lasts a few more seconds, and now Yakindar's cover is gone. He's got to play with Nubox, and Hampus starts to walk forward. Device holding the trade kill. The swing out, Hampus hits the headshot. Great recovery of the round for that for NiP, but Yakindar nearly does it to them.
Oh, it would have been so nice for VP there if Yakindar could get that kill and their other player could survive, because then you have those two separate angles to be aware of. Maybe Yakindar can help fight a player at the same time as his teammate, but instead, NiP are able to get that kill onto his teammate, and he's left in a 1v2 that is so much more difficult, especially being trapped behind triple. He tried to make something work on the edge of that smoke, but NiP played it safe, never gave him the opportunity. Really composed play from the Swedes, and the 1-day on the server. Popsky taking so much damage on Banana, 10 health, and he's dead to the molly.
Burnt out. VP given the early kill. This is what they've been searching for, VP. They've been wanting round wins for such a long time now in this defense. NiP have had some great rounds so far on this T side. The late round hits, the kills they're getting, the composure they're able to find even when walking into stacks and heavy rotations. Virtus.pro have now been given the advantage.
Well, speaking of the rotation, Sanji comes over to be with the MP9, but NiP go dry.
And Hampus is about to walk
And
forward
already?
the AK. And there we go. That was a chance for NiP. VP are going to have to throw some utility down. Hampus has got in towards Pool, but the smokes are still up. That's going to give cover to VP, and they're going to try and play with this triangle of death. 3 players, the trifecta, trying to hold on. One of them down, but 2 remain. Yakindar still at second orange, is still unchecked. They have to be aware of this, and the Linus goes right on by. Sliding right into the crosshair. Yakindar's found one, but quick reply from Rez. Yakindar goes for the reload, thinking it's safe to do so. But now James struck him from Banana. He was always on the flank. He was always coming in behind. And Rez is left alone. 16 HP. He's going to look for the bomb plant. Starts to punch in those digits. Locks it through. And now has to look for the clutch. Rez clears down Banana, trying to preemptively fire onto the head of James that is currently walking up. He's waiting on Sanji to get a better position, and Rez, this is going to be difficult. He's got to turn these into 1v1s. He's got to use his positional advantages. And Sanji doesn't have the best weapon to fight at range, but Jim, he knows he's there because of the info picked up by Sanji, and that is going to be Virtus.pro taking back the site. It's 12 rounds, and it's Jim that makes the difference.
That's a round where Sanji doesn't get a kill, but you see what he does for this team. Yakindar has no ammo left at that second orange's position, and some players there might try to help Yakindar fight out of that spot. But Sanji decides he's just going to play safe because he realizes on the overall map, on the overall bigger picture, James has the chance to get that flank going. And as long as Sanji falls back after making some noise initially, they'll be looking at him. You see here, Yakindar, 1 bullet. Sanji realizes it's not worth sticking around with the MP9 and trying to help because James' flank with the AWP is more important. And as long as they're looking at Sanji, James is going to have a great chance to get those kills. He has the impact he needed, and it's a good round from VP.
NiP have still got money though, so another buy straight out for them. No AWP on the T side, Device freed up to play on the rifle. Yakindar is going to take that meaty nade right up the head, but oh, the flashes are good, just about allowing NiP around the corner safely. They go through the banana smoke. Device is down at logs. Do they counter him with some utility? Because Yakindar does still have an incendiary left alone. But they're not going to use it up. And now NiP going back up towards top middle. The defense here is strong. They've got 3 players and Jam on the AWP. This could be real messy for NiP.
Yeah, Yakindar's in CT, so he can watch for the long play, and they can have so many players focused on this short side.
Oh, NiP are about to be crushed. They need to get some of these kills quickly. They're going to go around long. Yakindar's trying to hold them back. Through the smokes they go, and they've taken down Yakindar. A big kill to find for V. Or should I say NiP, and now they try and attack into Jin's AWP. They're trying to hold it on. Plotsky's found the headshot. Sanji's done well. He gets away with a double on the MP9, but finally traded out. It's not enough in the hold here for Virtus.pro.
Yakindar was just so committed to his position there. Ahead of the smokes, he wanted to fight on towards long. VP had so many players on the site, I'm not sure he needed to. They probably could have watched for the long play, and maybe Yakindar could have been that man pushing in behind as they were actually pushing to the site. But instead, he commits out into the open. Flashbang fully blinds him. And then, unfortunately for VP, they find it hard to assemble that hold. maybe that's part of the reason why Yakinda was so committed to long, was that VP's setup didn't look too good to deal with that long play. You saw Sanji was the man who seemed to be initially watching that long smoke, but with just the MP9, it was really hard for him to hold, and it was those long players that ended up taking Shame out of the round. So perhaps that's part of the reason why Yakinda fights so aggressively, but it's just so hard there to fight out in the open with the FAMAS. It's hard to see him getting away with more than one kill. I wouldn't have minded Yakinda trying to play sneaky in the smokes and get in behind them, but they decide to go ahead and play differently. They decide to just try and fight. Doesn't work out for VP in that one.
Yeah, well, it's going to little birds. Just feathers and bones, Hawker.
Is he talking to me?
Yeah, think so. It's calling you out.
Oh, I'll get him back. I'll
Just
get him
mean
back.
his
I'll
Twitch
think of
chat.
something. Ouch.
Oh, that's a
Ouch.
huge nade and a headshot as well from Device. A great double up. Itchy. And then the headshot as well. Sanji dropped down. Just one bullet for Device.
The nade almost did it alone. Device
Oh.
has really turned it round here on this B side.
Oh, but he's going to go down in this one. Buster from Pillar has found the headshot. And look at the double stack in the apartments as well. NiP think they can go back to A, but it's not going to be easy to go this way either because Jam is here with the AWP and he can make it work. He's peeked out. Hampus is now down, but remember, Kickert is still here. He may only have a CZ, but he's got a close quarters angle. And he hears them going around long. He hears them going into Archway, and Buster's AK's at the ready res. He's going to go down as a follow-up opportunity, but it's Yakinda that's got it. Headshots through, and Plopsky now alone.
Has to force this fight onto Yakinda. He knows he needs this early kill to give himself a chance. He's got the bomb back, but he doesn't know Yakinda. Still committed to the angle. Great play from VP. They get all that info. They hear the players running to long, and then Buster and Yakinda assemble a really solid setup, one that's really hard to get past. There are so many of those awkward angles in CT that you have to be wary of. Buster plays behind one of the pillars. Yakinda plays in library, which is always a really difficult angle to clear out as you try and push into CT spawn. And VP take another timeout, and NiP might be kind of happy about this because they've used all their timeouts. Gives Threat another chance to have a word.
That is the advantage, right? If you use them all up early, you start to bring it back. Virtus.pro is still going to be using theirs up. And they're very vocal in this timeout for NiP as well. Device looking over to Linus, having a little bit of a say in this one as well. I wonder what the call is going to be. Linus is on the Mac 10, so clearly they're calling for him to do something with this. Might be a quicker play from NiP here.
Big moment here for NiP. With a $1,900 loss bonus, if they lose this round, they go 14-11 down without money to buy in the next, unless they get a bomb plant, and even then, it wouldn't be an ideal buy. So NiP really need to rely on winning this round right here.
If they do, it's the same scenario for VP, right? They should go on a string of losses. Maybe Yakinda getting burnt down. 41. He was trying to stick around in the fire, still really looking for this early banana fight. But this time, Device is not walking through the smoke. This time, Device is not going around the other side. He will take sprinkles of damage, but that's about it.
Nade at the ready, but it gets thrown too soon. No damage done onto Linus. VP have been so active on their CT side, oftentimes stacking either 4A or 3B in these rounds as a risk, and oftentimes these stacks have been the correct calls. And this is another one of those rounds where it may be the case. NiP taking top mid, but they're running into the stack.
Oh, smoke fades away. Sanji's about to get a chance, but he hasn't been able to take a kill, so they're still alive now, but Yakinda and Jim getting frags. Yakinda's in pit and finally dealt with, but it's just Hampus left alone. He's still got to deal with the AWP of Jim inside of the site, and now Sanji has got into position towards short as well. Utility starts to come in. Sanji's starting to wrap the apartments and Buster out towards long. There's easier rounds in Counter-Strike. This one is not one of those, and Hampus is looking for shots. Smoke goes out towards long. He needs a kill on Jim, and it just won't happen. 14-11. Virtus.pro are 2 rounds away from sending the Ninjas in Pajamas out of IEM Cologne.
And VP just keeps stacking the right sites here. not sure if it's Jay making these calls or just the way they normally like to play, because I know VP tend to be a team who like taking some of those risks, who like taking some of these stacks on this map. But at the end of the day, you have to have a hunch, you have to have an inkling, and credit to James. Sometimes we don't like the way he calls, but here on the CT side, his calls have been great for these stacks.
Yeah, these heavy rotations have been really difficult for NiP to deal with, right? They are getting kills, it's just there's another player right after you have to focus in on. You have to change up the crosshair, you have to try and frag out. And it just makes it very difficult to get anywhere near the bomb site without losing too many players. Kindor is loving some of this early fights down Banana, but he is again dealt low. He's 4 HP, nearly runs right into the fire. But he stays alive. Now he's flame touched. This is going to be Hampus. He runs around long. It's Jim that is looking for the pick. He's waiting on the flash. Didn't want to go around dry. Flash is good, but he didn't peek quick enough and goes back again. Hampus re-peeks into him. And the kill has been found for Virtus.pro. They're trying to hold the rest. Jim now holding. Kickers Nick kill with a frag as well. And it's everything going wrong for NiP. Series point for Virtus.pro coming right up. And for NiP, they've got nothing to work with.
It's fallen flat now on their T side. That last round, they were already struggling to get a buy together. They had the 1 AK, but not much else behind it. And so even though they do enough to draw that rotate over to B, they do enough damage to the Kindar, and the third man goes to the B site initially. James is able to get that first kill on long. Kicker did really good work from short just to slow them down, get that initial frag, and now NiP have to rely on this buy to keep them in Cologne.
While Kicker spraying down through the smoke. Plopsky's taking early damage. He's down to 9 HP. Hampus got the first kill for Ninjas, but the fire burns away Plopsky. Yukindos through the smoke has found Res as well, and finally, Hampus will deal with him. 3v3 still. NiP are doing very well at keeping this even.
It's turned scrappy, it's turned sloppy, but that's what NiP needed in this round, because now they take a breather, they slow it down, and they have the chance to get some guns into their hands. They've recovered an M4, they've recovered a Galil, and with the CTs only having 3 players alive, they have to stay so spread across the map that NiP can all group up B and all group up onto 1 CT. But it's Buster who's holding, and he's been pretty good all day long.
Just hiding in towards dark. This AK-47 has often found victims of NiP on the other side.
Pushing mid.
This flank could quickly come up as well through Banana. That cuts off the rotation. If Buster does a good job, there's no other chances for NiP. They've got to get rid of Buster, and they've got to get rid of him quick because the flank is still coming, and this time a little faster. Buster's been unchecked. They haven't spotted him. Linus goes into him. The bomb is now down. Sanchi's got the kill as well. That's all a device. NiP are out of IEM Cologne, and it's Virtus.pro that continue to move through. They've locked themselves in a matchup against Big as they continue their lower bracket gauntlet run. For Device, again, Cologne is a failure.